Good morning, YouTube. So you caught me at the beginning of a bowl. This might take a while, right? It's one of my, it's an egg BJ. It's one of my favorite pipes, as you can tell from the top. But that'll get fixed. That's just a good cake inside. And the reason you haven't heard from me for so long, well, for one thing, with COVID, it just really kept me busy with, in general, things were going on, and then we moved. Kevin has My husband's a contractor for the EPA, and so he got a 7-year contract here in Kansas City, Missouri. So we moved within like 8 minutes. If he gets up and puts toothpaste on his toothpaste, let me try that again. If he gets up and puts toothpaste on his toothbrush, he's so close to work that he could start brushing his teeth now and be at work by the time he's done. He could spit at work. It is very close. And we have this, we went ahead and signed we have a 3-year contract on this house. We just decided that we're gonna rent for a while. At the value of the property of the houses right now, the one that we were living in, it sold for $305, and we had agreed to contract it under $273. So when they got a chance to sell it out like that, I mean, I would have too. We told them that we decided that we didn't want to take on a $250,000 debt at this point in our lives. And I think we were right. We're going to rent and let someone else worry about the big things. It is a little bit more expensive in some ways, but in others, man. But I did do some work here when I got in. When we first moved in, we moved in approximately a month ago. I mean, it was raining every day of the month for May. Every day, rain, 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 rain. Now, June is different. In June, we're way below. But for May, every time we turned around, it was like just raining on us. Well, Kevin's foot went into a cast again, but it healed good. So it was a wound on his toes. I don't know if you guys know, but he's diabetic. So there was a wound on his foot, and so he couldn't help move again. Here we go. Every year it seems like, or whenever it's time to move, he's got, a boo-boo. So I always say it's a Kevin thing. But so I moved in here, and the first thing I had to do was dig a dig a ditch. And I'm a good ditch digger. So I went ahead and got that small ditch dug just for the drainage, because I wasn't going to come out here on my deck and have it float away. So I started digging a French drain. Got it all dug. Let's see if I can leave that here without it falling down. If you guys hit the floor, I'm sorry. Hit the deck. I dug the drain, and I got it all in there, except I'm waiting on the installation boxes. What do they call them? Drain catcher installation boxes. And they will come. They said on the 24th, but I just got an eBay thing or a message on my email that said they were coming soon. Usually you see me at the end of my pipe. You're seeing me at the beginning this time. So anyway, where were we? Oh, so I dug a ditch, and I put the drain in, and now I'm waiting on these. So that takes forever, it seems like. And now we're not having any rain. So that making that dirt a little harder. But like I say, all I'm ready for is just to put in the 2 pieces. Once the 2 pieces get in, then it's ready to go. And I'm real proud of myself for that. Let's see. Well, you know how it is when you come into any house that you are renting. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know much about it, but I'm learning what it is to be a renter. But anyway, so of course, the air conditioner was just horrible. Couldn't turn it on without cleaning the air conditioner. I'm a little picky on some things. On something, you can walk in my house and say, "Oh, boy, it's a cluttered mess," but if you look around, it's an organized clutter. That's probably an oxymoron, isn't it? But anyway, so I cleaned the air conditioner out. The gutters, oh man, they were just overflowing everywhere. Oh, I'm smoking my egg BJ. It's got that rough freehand top. I really do use this one a lot more than I would have thought I would have. When I got it, I said, oh, that's just too big a bowl. But when the cake's in there and everything, it's all right. It's not as deep. Well, I guess it is. It smokes real good and cool. In it, I have Diamond Joe from 2014. Diamond Joe is a McClellan blend. And so its number was 2046. Got to dismiss my alarm. It was 2046. And so we would just go into any of the McClellan's just carried it a lot of places. We'd go into the stores and just ask for the 2046. And so last time when we went, we bought probably 5 pounds in a big old bag. It hadn't been opened yet. And we cellared it. And I'll tell you what, that stuff's coming out. And I'm not much for cased tobaccos. So this is a little cased, but it is not, it doesn't ever have that ketchup smell when you open it up. So it's not over cased. And it's carrying its case pretty good through the years. I mean, this is now 6 years old, and in the casing on it hasn't distorted the flavor of the tobacco too much. And that's what I look for in a case, is one that still lets the tobacco come through. Usually the way you can tell that, and I know some people do it, some people don't, but if you're at a tobacco store and you're wanting to know how intense of a case it is, you can taste it. All you have to do is just take a little pinch, a little bitty pinch, and put that on your tongue and rub it against the top of your mouth. Then spit out. And any of that that's stuck to the top of your mouth, that's going to be the casing. And that's how you'll know if it's a heavy casing or not, or sometimes what the casing is. If you get a real oily taste, you know you're going to have a slow smoker. If you get a very cinnamony taste, you know it's going to be a very fragrant taste. I don't know how to explain it. If you get that pithy taste, like, if you have a unripe avocado, you know what I'm talking about, that flavor that you get when you spit it out. That means it's a heavy case, and that I find that the ones that leave that aftertaste like that in my mouth, they do not hold their casing as well. They're so heavily cased that they destroy the tobacco. I don't know that I could say it doesn't hold its casing. What it is it powers the tobacco. So, giving you lectures on stuff you already know. So I like the house. It's 3 bedrooms. It's got plenty of guest room, plenty of space. We got a whole basement that can be just perfect for anybody who wants to come to Kansas City. And there's things to do in Kansas City. I don't think they're going to have a pipe show. They quit that 2 years ago, but you know, COVID came, so who knows? But there's plenty to do around here. So come on down. Now, I'm a Missouri girl. Before I was a Kansas girl. Now I'm a Missouri girl. Life's been funny. Like I say, when we moved in, of course, Kevin was in a cast. So once again, I moved almost by myself, and he's coming along fine. He actually, by next week, he'll be able to help, which would be kind of nice because he's never been able to help before. It's like he's always in the middle of something when we move. I don't like that, but I don't control that. I think that's Mother Nature. So anyway, with any luck at all, I'm gonna go to California in July. I'm not probably gonna see anybody. I might go see Paul, but I'm not going to see any of the Pipers. I'm going to see Elaine and help her through a hard anniversary for us, because Danny passed away in July, and so, well, the 1st of July. So it's kind of like, you know, the thing where I'm just going to go to see her. That's what it's all about. It's about her and Axton, Danny's nephew. Axton Daniel. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do, I think, in July. I'm still waiting on confirmation on flights and dates and stuff with them, and that's going to be the biggie. I'm understanding now that airplane flights are quite expensive. So I'm hoping my finances will take it. I'll tell you, we've been taking a hit with our finances. I don't get any kind of unemployment or aid from the state of Kansas because they don't consider that I worked enough. And oh gosh, they have made it so difficult. They have made it so hard for anyone to get unemployment in Kansas that it's just not worth it. My BJ's kind of, isn't that pretty pipe? Is kind of gurgling, so I need to get a pipe cleaner for that one. So I'll just light up a different one. I'm the world's worst about that. I will have 2 or 3 pipes laying around, and I'm packing it. You know how I pack it. Baby bear first, back around the edges. You feel it again. Of course, there's some on the floor, but usually I have a mat under me. And then you stuff it again, and then you do the mama bear, which is a little bit tougher than the baby bear, but you're pushing around the edges. You push around that edge, and you leave that middle a little bit more fluffy. And then papa bear. You feel that one more time, and you push pretty hard this time. So you have a looser pack at the bottom and a tighter pack kind of at the top. But once again, I go around the edges, leaving that middle real loose in there. The reason I leave that, and then I'll take one little push. The reason I leave that middle loose is because you're getting enough tobacco around the edges that it's safeguarding your pipe. And by leaving it loose in the middle, it kind of smokes a little bit faster for us that are gaining the nicotine, I don't do it for relaxation, people. I don't smoke a pipe to relax. I smoke a pipe to live. Whoop, that's not a good, I don't have a good thing out here. Usually I have a hemp wick with me, and I didn't have one. I love hemp wicks. They're the easiest thing to light with. Okay, and then after you've done that, I just use my thumb. You'll see it's already got ash on it. I know there's tampers around, but I never can find them. I'll find like 6 of them one day, and then the next day when I go to look for them, they're not anywhere. I know that there's a thing called a tamper asshole. He's the opposite of a tooth fairy. He comes and steals them instead of brings them back. Well, what is it with this today? I don't want to get any wax on the stick because then I get it in my pipe, so the stick doesn't want to stay lit. There we go. Thank you, stick. One more time. There we go. I sound like a fish. Anyway, it's a nice house. I'm liking the neighborhood. The neighborhood's just a wonderful neighborhood, especially if you have kids, but we don't have kids, so that's okay. On one side, there's a hot tub. Over there, there's a swimming pool, and over there, there's a swimming pool. We haven't been invited to swim yet, but I will be. Maybe, maybe not. I ran around in my swimsuit while I was putting in this drain and stuff, so it's not like they don't know I have swimsuits. Across the street, there's another Sue. She's a Susan and a Susie. She's a Susan, and her mother is a Susie, and the mother is probably 80, and she's in her 60s. They're a really nice couple of people, and she was working on her gutters the other day without anyone holding the ladder. So I went over and held the ladder for her. So that's how I met my neighbor over there. But she teaches swimming at the Y. So it's like, all right, this is meant to be, someone to go swimming with me over there. And If I'm lucky, I get pools over here. If not, that's all right. This house does lead itself to a nice hot tub. As soon as I get the deck cleaned off and stuff, it'll be all right. Wouldn't mind getting a hot tub, but it's kind of silly. We're here for 7 years. That's how long the contract's for with Kevin. He's the EPA contractor. So it'll be nice to sit here for a few years. This will be our last house till our forever home. And I don't know, I'm having trouble deciding where I want my forever home to be. A lot of my friends are west, but my Duke is in South Carolina. Duke Ed, he's a Dunhill Duke, Grand Duke actually. And then, so I wouldn't mind being close to the Harris tobacco farms. But, and I love the coast. I would love to be by the coast. California is just so expensive. And although people I love there, I think it's out of my price range for retiring to. Even if we were buying now. I do have a place to retire to in North Palm Beach if I want to. But I think that property, I have it with a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine. I think though that property, she's got a little farm. She has horses and rabbits and chickens, sheep, goats, alpaca. She's kind of like, she lives on protected land reserves in Florida. They're called the reserves. And that's what they are. They're a whole lot of little mini farms. Well, I can't say it's a mini farm. She's on 2 acres, which might not seem like much here, but in Florida, 2 acres is a lot of land to own. We bought that property gosh, I think we bought it in '99, she and I, and her and her husband lived there. Her husband passed away. She's younger than me by about 10, 15 years, depending on whose age whose lie you believe. And I adore her. I'm sorry she became widowed. She became widowed very young, and because she took care of her mother, who just recently passed away from COVID. You know, she's been caring for her mother. Her mother was 94, and she took care of her for many, many years. So that kind of was great for her. The property was good. It also gave someone to help her, you know, help pay the cost of it and everything with that. But now, now that her mother's passed away and stuff, the cost of just keeping the property is getting a little high. So she's thinking about moving. It's hard for her to get hay there on the coast too. It's very expensive. So she's thinking about moving inland more. So if that happens, that's great. But I just don't think I want to live in Florida. I've been there a lot. I was there 2 or 3 times a year, easy. I probably spent 3 months a year in Florida. And that's if nobody was dying. Now, if somebody was dying and I needed to take care of them, I was there 5 months with my mother-in-law. I was there 10 weeks while my father-in-law was passing away, and then 10 weeks afterwards to take care of my mother-in-law. And then a few years later, she, not a few years, she was 83. She had started having heart problems. She only had one lung anyway, but she started having heart problems and lung problems, and so it was just a constant take her in there and inflate her lung, and she'd be there for a while, and then then her heart would have problems. So they'd give her the medications for her heart. Then her blood pressure would be off, so they would give her the medication for the blood pressure. And then because all that was happening, of course, her lungs went down because they couldn't handle the extra water that they were kicking into her. And it was just a constant heart down, lung down. Then the heart would get up and move, and then the lung would go down. It was a really tough few months, but she said she was, it wasn't a bad death for her. I took care of her so well. She said she was thrilled because she always had the daughter. She had the daughter she never had, and I'd been that for her. And that was one of the nicest compliments. Oh, I'm getting off subject. Gosh, I've been on here, 20 minutes, and you still haven't heard anything important. Well, there really isn't nothing important going on. I'm going to go back to work. I just haven't decided where or when. I went back to work with the Riverfront Community Center a little bit just to finish it up, because since they gave me the shot, the very least I could do is work for them. But now it's 45 minutes away, and it just isn't worth driving that far for my 4 hours. Well, the coffee's done. My pipe's done, so the video's done. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I have been watching you guys. Just because I don't talk to you or do my own. It's not because I don't love you. It's just because it's been a long year or two. 2 years? 8 years? Jeez. It seems like so long, doesn't it? You guys, you have a good day. It's beautiful here, and I'm going to start my day.